My name is Madison Barra, and welcome to my podcast, where it's all about teaching you how to lose weight, keep it off, and actually enjoy the process. I've lost over 70 pounds, and these are the failures and lessons I've learned along the way. Hope you enjoy and subscribe. Today, I'd like to talk about some observations I've been noticing lately. And in particular, I just discovered some studies that were done. And don't leave. I know the word study is not very exciting. It's worth it, I promise. So there's some studies that I thought were really interesting, and I thought you would really appreciate, ladies. So let's dive in, and I'll kind of tie this all together. So first study that was, I think this was recently done. I'm just going to paraphrase it. It might not be exactly right, but you guys will get the gist of the findings of the study. So basically, there were two groups of people, okay? And they were separated. And one group of people was given a healthy, hearty, nutritional shake to drink. And then the other group was given a weight loss shake to drink. So on the nutritional shake side, they were explaining to this group of people, we want you to try this shake. It is super nutrient dense. It has vitamins and minerals, and it's good for your bones, and it's good for your brain. Enjoy it. It's going to be really, really filling. Have fun. So they drink it. Awesome. They enjoyed it. Other group, the weight loss shake side, they're saying, great shake, super low in calories. It's going to help you lose the weight. Obviously, it's lower in calories, so it's not going to keep you so full, but it still tastes great. And so they have it. They like it. It tastes great too. Now, after both groups drank their shakes, they were then asked how they feel. And then they were actually tested. They tested to see their hormone levels, to see what changed. And so the group that had the nutritional shake, they all said they were full, they were satisfied. Some of them couldn't even finish it. And their hunger hormones weren't elevated. And then the other group with the weight loss shake, they said they were a little hungry, maybe not fully satisfied. And then when they did the tests, they realized that their hormone levels were elevated for hunger. So they were actually hungrier after the shake. Now, here's the kicker. Guess what? They were both the same shake. Whoa. So what the heck does that mean? So what this means is, physiologically, there's always a response. So anything you run into, anything you're experiencing in life, your body has a physiological response automatically without thinking. If we're hot, we sweat to cool down. If we're cold, we shiver to warm up, right? This is stuff that our body does for us, and it responds to our environment. Now, what this study would suggest is not only do you have that physiological response to things, you can also change your physiological response to things. On a literal biological level, you have control to change things. So you don't have to always respond the same way. You can actually change how your body is responding altogether. You can change your responses. So if you change your mindset, your body will literally follow. If you say you're not hungry, if you say you don't have cravings, your body will listen and follow. And that's what happened in that shake study. They were told they were going to be very full. And guess what? They were very full. And their hormones, their hunger hormone didn't elevate. And on the other side, they were told they're going to be hungry. And guess what? They worked themselves up to be hungry. They physiologically released that hunger hormone just because they heard it. Just because they preemptively already decided the response they're going to want to have. So number one, it's really important that you audit the information you're hearing, right? Be very careful who you listen to and who you let penetrate that barrier of yours. And then also realize that how you speak and the information you take in really matters. How crazy is that? They were the same shake. And think about the last time you were really hungry and craving something. All it was a mindset trick your body played on you. Your mind thought it, your body followed. Your body actually stimulated the thoughts, and it willed it into existence. So if you say you're hungry, you're going to be hungry. If you say you're full, you're going to be full. If you say you're sad, you're going to be sad. If you say You're lucky, you get lucky. That's literally how it works. And that's how powerful the mind can be, right? And that's why the saying, you have to believe it to achieve it, is very, very true, as cheesy as it sounds. It's crazy. It actually triggers your hormones. How crazy is that? And there was another study done too. It was done on older people, right? And there were these kind of two types of older people. So people, like 70s, 80s. And they were asked, how would you describe getting old? What would you describe old as? And there was certain people who said things like frail, losing independence, getting sick. And then there was other groups of people who described old as wisdom, maturity, more freedom. And what they noticed was the people who had the positive association with age actually lived longer. And the people who didn't, guess what? They caused their own premature death just by the mental associations that we've built over life. That's another example of how strong your mind is. You are either willing your success right now, or you are willing your downfall, and you don't even realize it. Your mind is literally making you live longer or die sooner. Because it's food. It's food. The mind and information and all of that perspective, that is the mind's greatest fuel. That is the body's biggest fuel. What have you been feeding yourself other than junk? Other than actual junk food, what have you been feeding yourself? Junk information, junk opinions, junk perspectives? Really? Watch. It is crazy. You can will anything into existence. And it's not that voodoo, hoodoo, manifestation, the spirits, that's for a different call. It's literally by you thinking it, your body is reacting to it and creating it. Your body takes care of you. Think of all the abuse you've put it through, really and truly. And it's still trying to help you. It's still fighting for you to stay alive every day. Your heart has not stopped beating every second since you've been born. That's how much it cares about you and how much we mistreat it. But you can literally make your body feel things and do things. And it's this chain. It's this chain back and forth and back and forth. And it's this loop that we keep feeding, which you've probably been feeding the wrong loop. Just by your words, or just by how people are presenting things to you. Right? I had a lady the other day, she just started with us, and she literally lost 5 pounds in one day. She literally stepped on the scale the day after starting, and she lost 5 pounds, right? Of inflammation and bloating and all that, and some water weight. But she lost 5 pounds for the first time in forever. She's been struggling for decades, and she just figured it out in day one. And guess what her friends did? Oh, wow, that's kind of unsafe. Oh, are you sure? Oh, how many calories are you eating? Oh, maybe you shouldn't be doing that. And guess what she starts to think? Oh, wow. Oh, maybe this is dangerous. Dangerous? You've been obese for decades, and you finally figured something that worked instantly, and we're questioning it already? And we all do that. We all do that, don't we? We're really good at saying I can't, or it won't, or it shouldn't. But instead of saying I can't, think, how can I? How can I? What if it works? What should I do? How can I? How can I be more full? How can I be more satisfied? How can I curb my cravings? Not, I can't curb my cravings. I'm never full. I'm never satisfied. I always need to binge. I can't control myself. Your body is listening and it's responding. And if you've been stuck for a while with one behavior pattern that you can't get out of, one bad habit, maybe it's as simple as change the words you're using because your body's listening. Maybe it just needs to hear something new. Because mindset is what separates the best from the rest. The best from the rest. And I don't know about you, but I really don't want to be the rest. That sounds really awful to me. being mediocre and average. Blah. Like, get it off. Get it off. I want to be the best. I want to be the best. Whatever best means for you. Being the best to me means the best me. And I know that I'm always growing. I know that I have a long way to go. But mindset is the difference. It's not about doing more. It's just maybe change why you're doing it or how you're doing it. It's not about filling your plate full of things, new diet, new app, new exercise routine, new challenge here, new thing here. It's not that. It's not that. Your body is listening to you. And if you keep saying, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try this, instead of I'm going to keep trying this, body's listening. Really, really is. And failing to try is like trying to fail. Failing to try is like trying to fail. If you're not even trying, it's like you're hoping to fail. It's like you're wanting to fail. It's like you're choosing your path already. You're choosing the outcome and the goal already. But it really does start with the mind, right? So if you have a shake today, you can choose to have it fill you up or not fill you up. It is literally all in the mind. You can completely change that. If you're somebody that says, I'm always hungry, guess what? You're going to be always hungry. And then you always have to fight that. But first of all, there's nothing wrong with being hungry. Let your body be empty, damn it. When is it ever going to break? Are you going to drop dead right now? Are you going to drop dead right now if you don't eat something or if you stay hungry for a little longer? Most likely not. Right? So if you logic yourself out of this stuff, it doesn't even make sense. But sometimes if you can't logic yourself out of it, which you can't because we create these stories emotionally throughout life that we hold on to and we see the world through. But if you can't logic yourself out of it, which most of the time you can't in the moment, just change your words, a few words. Just even recognize what you've just fed your body. Just recognize what you've just perpetuated again. And it's not just in, what are you doing? What are you saying? It's what have you been listening to? Who are you listening to? Is it crappy radio, crappy podcasts, crappy television? Unqualified friends, unqualified family who have opinion about everything. You know what they say about opinions? They're like assholes. Everybody's got one and they all stink. That's the saying I've heard. But yeah, I think this is very, very cool. And it's proven again and again and again in scientific studies that the body will follow the mind, right? It's the placebo effect. Right? They do it in medicine all the time. People cure themselves just because they think they're getting a medicine that's new cutting edge when it's a sugar pill. And they thought themselves to a cure. It's so possible, and we haven't even come close to the harnessing the power of this, ladies. So if you take anything away from this call, it would be like, leave this call right now, as soon as we end it, and sit down and be like, oh my God, I am missing out on this superpower. I need to harness it now. Harness it. You're making your life way harder than it needs to be. You're selling yourself short if you don't harness this. How can you use it? Or how have you not been using it that has been holding you back right now? What is the biggest issue in your life? What is the biggest complaint you have or the biggest struggle you have right now? What is it? And how has not been doing this been contributing to making it worse? And how can you incorporate this new mindset, this new perspective, this new body follows mind advice? How can you incorporate that immediately going forward? Pick one area, one thing that's been bothering you, you're struggling with, and how can you incorporate what you learned today? And you can do that immediately. That is the beauty of this. You don't have to study this. You don't have to think about it, write it out, memorize nothing. You can do it immediately. You can do it right now in your brain while I'm talking. You could have zoned out 5 minutes ago practicing. That's how quick this can be implemented. So please, 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 I beg you, do not take this for granted. Do not miss out on this superpower because most people don't even realize that this is happening to them. You're keeping yourself stuck. You're perpetuating that loop. And now you don't need to anymore. If you found this podcast valuable, I hope you leave us a 5-star review. And if you want to learn more about the Fit Queen way of weight loss, visit www.fitqueen.com. Thank you for listening, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another episode.